Well, it's Thursday morning, quite late at night. It's the only time that things are quiet here. I was trying to decide whether to concentrate on what's happening to me in my environment or to talk about something else totally different. The first thing, though, is that I believe it was a man named Rupert Murdoch and his people in 1984, because I took legal action against them using the local court. I believe it was his people who ransacked my place. And some of the results of the ransacking included taking of things, documents and letters that I'd had. And in particular, there's no point in going on further to talk about it. The thing about the influence of the USA and the Republicans in particular is that they've sort of like corrupted the entire world. Republicanism and I guess the motivating factor in everything they've done is to replace the genuine article, genuine spirituality, let's say, or friendships, replace that with counterfeit realities. I noticed that was happening to me back in the 50s as well. I guess one of the most, evil characters that I've ever encountered, or most of the evil characters I've encountered, have been show business people from America, or in some instances from the UK. They always seem to celebrate people who've done evil. For example, I could give you examples. In particular, German bands celebrating, some of their German contacts here by using their names in some of their pop songs. And that's just the way it is. Taylor Swift, I can't say much about Taylor Swift. She's very lucky, put a lot into it, it's got a lot of support. The thing was that my mail was being watched too. So what I'll do is I'll just give you an example and tell you what happened. Or I won't. I've done a small booklet called About the Mafia in Australia, and it gives you an outline of the sort of extent to which they will use government to plan murders, to plan hits, to plan assassinations. Sometimes it can take them 10, 20, 30 years before the actual deed is done, before the actual hit is done. But okay, let's talk about communism. Now, in 1976, I came back from overseas. When I was overseas, I was given some advice based upon my personal astrology, which was to don't go back to Australia. But I returned to Australia, and nobody knew that I had been anywhere. They just sort of thought that I was laying low, and they proceeded to do what they were doing before I left, which was heroin dealing and gun running and stalking me. And I can't say much more about it, except that at that time, when everything was being bad, everything was going evil, what you might call the Central Committee of the Communist Party members, named James, their family moved here 73, and I was in the unenviable position of meeting them. Well, maybe it was a bad judgment of my part. I didn't at the time know that they were central members of the Communist Party committee. I didn't know it. I just sort of took one look at them and thought, nope, there's something very wrong, very bad here. But then the whole area was funny. There was heroin dealing going on everywhere. 5 high schools within 2 miles. No police station or anything there. Definitely no neighbourhood watch or anything. Neighbourhood watch in the area of Norwood, for example. The neighbourhood watch guys were employed by the mafia to do standover of people who were victims of crime or who'd graduated at a university, such as I was. Yeah, it's a funny area, and that's why the central members of the Communist Supreme Committee, with contacts in the Soviet Union as well, moved there and enjoyed a life of relative luxury. And as I said, when I first bumped into them, I got the vibe that this is just anti-Christ or it was just no good. Stay away from them, they're nothing but trouble. And that proved to be true over the years, because what the communists do, is they not only assume your identity, aspects of your personal identity, they also take anything material that you have, your money, your car, your clothes, the people you know. They take all those people, all of that. And in America they call themselves Republicans. In Ireland they called themselves Irish Republican Army, IRA, and so on. Okay, well that's all I'll say. Hurry Soham, Hurry Soham, Soham Soham, Hurry Hurry, Hurry Mohan, Hurry Mohan, Mohan Mohan, Hurry Hurry. When I was overseas for that brief period, I met Hurry Soham, Hurry Mohan. Hurry Soham had been in prison with Hurry Mohan, who later was known as Mahatma Gandhi. 3 times in prison with him. And so Charles Manson, for example, I don't know how he knew, but he knew. And he was just saying that they're the guys, they're all people who've been in prison, don't pay any attention to them. Well, and so that was that.